Hey everyone, welcome to week 30 of reading through our one-year Bible together. This year I am reading through the New Living Translation and I'm really enjoying it. First time I've read through the whole Bible in the New Living Translation. It's really good. So this last week we did 2nd Chronicles, and we're reading again sort of similar to the 2nd Kings with all the history of the kings of Israel and Judah and the ups and downs of the different kings that reigned. We read some of Psalms and Proverbs and Romans. And I have to admit, Romans is definitely one of my favorite books of the Bible. Love the book of Romans. It's so full of rich teaching and just of Christ and Paul's teaching to the Roman people. So each day when I journal, I always pick a verse that I want to focus on. And it's been really hard with Romans because there are just so many verses that are just jump out at me and speak to me. But I just want to read a couple of the verses that I journaled on in this past week. And there's a little bit of a similarity in these two verses. And the first one is Romans 8 verses 35 and 37. It says, "Can anything ever separate us from Christ's love? Does it mean that he no longer loves us if we have trouble or calamity, or are persecuted or hungry, or destitute, or in danger, or threatened with death? No, despite all these things, overwhelming victory is ours through Christ who loves us." Overwhelming victory is ours, even though we have troubles, we have calamity, we have persecution, we go hungry, destitute, all these things, and facing death. Paul did face all these things, but he was not destroyed, and he was victorious because nothing could remove Christ's love. And I think too many times we think we are good with God if we have blessings in our lives, and if we don't have blessings, then there's something wrong with our lives. And I think that can be when we read through the Old Testament, we see that, right? We see when the kings were doing good, when they're honoring God, God blessed the land. But in the New Testament, it's very different. In fact, Christ came and he said that we will be persecuted. And that doesn't mean that we're not in the right place with God. In Romans 8:23, again, I journaled on that verse, and it says, "We believers also groan, even though we have the Holy Spirit within us as a foretaste of the future glory. For we long for our bodies to be released from sin and suffering. We too wait with eager hope for the day when God will give us our full rights as adopted children, including the new bodies he's promised for us." We groan in our bodies because this world is full of sin and suffering. And it can be our own sin that we struggle with, or it can be people who are sinning against us and hurting us. We suffer in these bodies, but we have to recognize that this is just this time on earth. Even if it's 80 years, it's just a breath compared to eternity. And this hope that we have as adopted children of God because of Jesus Christ. And so that's what gives us hope. That's what helps us have victory over all the circumstances of our life. So whether you're going through hard times or good times, those do not determine your stance with God and where you're at with him. And I love how it talks about the new bodies promised to us, because as I'm getting old, I'm recognizing that this body is not the same. And also we carry the hurts in us that we've experienced in our lives, and just whether it's physical or emotional or the pain and suffering that we've suffered. But we have this hope of being released from these bodies and having new bodies and an eternity with Jesus Christ because he died for us. And so that is a hope that we can cling to. Doesn't matter our life circumstances, doesn't matter what's happening in our physical bodies. We have this hope of Jesus Christ in eternity. And so I just want to encourage you in that and carry on. We've only got 22 more weeks to go to finish our Bibles. And so God bless you.